structural engineering, where we are working in the different aspect of structural engineering, that is structural health monitoring, as well as the earthquake testing, earthquake resistant structures, and the precast structures. And also we are having an advanced concrete and steel composite division. So wherein we do work with the advanced concrete steel and as well as the building materials. So if you see this map, we are almost covering all the areas of the civil engineering, and we are contributing in this particular area. And coming to the today's topic of the presentation, that is the research matrix and the your collaboration. So with respect to that, I will just start with my presentation, this research. Although I know that from the last 4 days, there are different the experts, they have contributed in the different themes, and they have introduced the research and the other points, how to write paper, how to do literature review. So quickly, let me go with this particular topic once again. So the research, as we know, that systemized efforts to gain the new knowledge, that is what we called as a research, and it will discover the new and collide the old facts. So by the scientific study. So here in the what we research we do there, our particular base is the scientific study, and also we do the critical investigation, the careful investigation, the definition for the research as per as the Oxford Advanced Learning Dictionary, that is what careful investigation or inquiry, specifically through the especially through the search of new facts in any branch of knowledge. So that is what the research is. So this is what nothing but the tested outcome for the new idea. That is what a research is. And if you see the research word is re and search, that is a re is a prefix meaning again in new or again. That is what the re, because sometimes also we might comment that we are reinventing the wheel. So obviously that is what we do research, that is mean time and again as per the time requirement we do redo the research. And search is the word meaning to examine closely and carefully, or to test or to try to probe. So that is what the meaning of this research. So together they are the noun describing careful, systematic and patient study and investigation. That is what is the research is. And if we see the research study which will able to provide us the answers to the questions what you are implying to that process. And if we see that we are undertaking the research within the framework of this set of philosophies, that is what we do fix our boundaries and then we start the research. We use the procedure, methods, techniques that have been tested for their validity and the reliability, and it is designed to be unbiased and for the particular objective. So so herein we do the philosophical that is whatever our philosophy is there, with around that we do the research in terms of qualitative, quantitative or academic discipline, validity and the reliability, the unbiased and objective that we will meet out. So that is what the research, and the main objective here to gain the familiarity within the new insights into the phenomena, accurately describe the characteristics of the particular individual group or the situation, to analyze the frequency with which something occurs or the its association, or to examine the hypothesis. If we are having some hypothesis and that we do examine, we also find out um, the what is the reason. So if we see there are objectives whenever do research, we start with the title. So that titles may have some kind of words, that is what the assessment, exploration, evaluations or examinations, comparison, estimation, propagation. So these are the some of the objectives whenever we do write the objectives. So either we use one of the words what I have presented here. So that is assessment to observe the situation or infer the result, or the exploration to uncover the reality facing a problem, and the evaluation to measure the level of the existence, examination to test the existence, comparison to compare and contrast between the variables, or estimation wherever we do project a probable level of happening. What is that estimation? Is a propagation. So these are the words generally we do use during our formulation of the research and formulation of the objectives. So the significance of research is nothing but the all the progress is born of inquiry. So doubt is often better than the overconfidence. Sometimes we may be overconfident for the some of the phenomena which we have not tested, but so the research will give the idea on that one. Research will provide you the confidence, that strongly you can comment on that particular area, and we can provide the technical solutions. So that is what the scientific and inductive thinking, which will get promoted during your research program. So there are different types of research. That is maybe some kind of descriptive, that is survey based. So some kind of we do the survey and we do the fact findings. So so variables, there may be different variables. There may not be a control on that one, and then we analyze through analytical this one, whatever the facts are there. Some kind of applied solution, applied research is there. We can provide the solutions to the immediate problem. If in our nearby area, if any problem is there, suppose for example waste utilization is the problem. For that waste utilization, there may be some of the techniques are available, and within that we do the research. That is what the applied research. Or so the conceptualization, that means we can think some kind of theory. We can promote that theory. So that is what the conceptual. That means we do conceptualize something, and for that we do work. So that is what the conceptual one. The qualitative and quantitative. So that is what which is measured and expressed in terms of quantity or maybe quality. So that is again here in maybe based on the case reports and maybe case series that we do consider here, and we do find out the answer for the why that phenomena is taking place. And there may be other types during the course of the time, or maybe during the new developments, trends, prediction studies. So that is maybe another type of research, or historical study, correlation research, or clinical or versus diagnostical studies. So that kind of maybe field setting versus the lab or the simulation research. So these are the different research are there, and particularly we do take research in one of the domain here. The research methods that generally we do adopt from the literature review, or there may be research method and methodology. That are the two different things. Research methods are the methods that researcher adopt for the conducting the research studies, and the research methodology is the way in which the research problem are solved. So methodology is systematic, the steps that we follow during our research program. So it is a science of studying how research is conducted scientifically. So methodology, if we consider, that means what, why, and that answer we can get through the methodology. And methods is how we can do that particular research. So there may be methods. For example, suppose any testing is there. Suppose if you are to do the testing of the cubes, so that method is already prescribed in the IS code. So that method we need to follow. The methodology is nothing but in order to cast that specimen, what is that material and why we are doing, what it is, why we are doing. So that all that answer belongs to the research methodology. And methods already, these are already documented, and that methods only we need to adapt. For example, any water testing is there. So that methods are prescribed how to do that testing. So research methodology, that may be a scientific, engineering methods, empirical methods, analytical methods. So these are the some kind of tools that we use, maybe some kind of softwares that we use. So that again comes under the methodology. There may be scientific methodology, some kind of engineering methodology. So with that we can able to do. So here if we see the scientific methods that proposes a model or theory of some of the real world phenomena. So here the scientific the methods which observe the real world, then measure and analyze the proposed model or theory and validate the hypothesis, and then that process may, if we are satisfied, then okay, otherwise that process may get repeated. So in case of engineering, observe the existing solutions. What is the existing solution is there, and what how we can propose a better solution. So in other way, so always the engineering methods within the less cost, either cost or either time, how we can provide the better solution. So in terms of cost, in terms of time, suppose for example, now we are facing the housing needs, housing demand is increasing. So for that, what are the things that we can, the conventional solutions are there, but in order to do the speed of construction, speedy construction, and within the less cost, or maybe comfortable housings we need to provide. So that better solution we do always find out. So through our research program. So build or develop better solution. That is what the main purpose of this engineering kind of thing. Then the empirical, that is what we propose a model, we develop a statistical or other basis for that model, and then we apply it to the case studies. So that is what empirical one. And in case of the analytical, the we propose the formal theory or set of saying, and we develop that theory, derive results, and then we compare with the empirical observations. So here in the empirical analytical, that can be clubbed together in our research domain, and we can able to come to the conclusion. So in case of the research, there are different stages are there. That is what, first of all, the we need to find out the research problem, then the literature review, then the choosing the research method or methodology, and then the collecting the evidences or data, then analyze our result and conclusions, and then we club together and we present a detailed project report that we call as a thesis. So if we see the identifying the topic of the research, so uh, um, the state of art wherein we need to identify some of the keywords relevant, because always if you write the paper, what is the keyword they ask? So out of that your paper, what is the that keyword through which your paper is derived? So we need to identify the 5 to 10 relevant keywords for the literature search, and then specify your search further regarding the literature database. You search the you search database research, publishing the dates, geographic areas, applied methods and approaches. So these are the things when we do the state of art. Collect notes, summarize the article you read as you go, keeping the reference number on your notes, because whenever do you do the state of art review, then you may be going through the n number of papers, more than 500, 600 papers you go through that one. So you have to keep record what particular paper, what is that people have done. And then from this, we can brainstorm the project ideas. So there may be keywords. Based on the keywords, we can collect the papers. And from that papers, again, we number it, we find out what exactly they have done. And then after that one, brainstorming, that is what the project idea, because um, we need to uh, we need to write down whatever the out of this literature review, whatever you read, through that one you can come with some of the ideas that you can write down. Then you can give your thought process. So then again you need to revisit your ideas and start reviewing, and what is that you can able to provide the solution with your the the project ideas, so that you can think there. So then you can continue go on adding that one, and it is a process, continuous process, that whenever you start with some of the objectives, and during the course of your research also you may find that this is what also it is required and it is essential, then also you can add that particular objective later on in during your research program. So then initially you're going through 500, 600 papers, different 5 to 10 keywords, and then you are continually reading the papers. But again, you need to narrow down with your ideas. So out of that one, whatever the ideas you have initially noted down. So out of that one, you can consider 2 to 3 ideas. Brainstorming here in the your supervisor may play a better role. Your colleagues that play a better role, wherein you can discuss with them. So you can get an idea because you are maybe thinking in the one aspect. The other people they can think in the other direction, so that your ideas will get the better direction. So then whatever the idea, 2 to 3 ideas that you have selected, then you can brainstorm on that idea for the one day. And then obviously you need to find out that is the what is the knowledge gap is there, and what is the that question that you are addressing, what are the ideas for your experiments, and how you can able to gather the empirical evidences or the hypothesis you are having. So that things that you need to find out during your this particular process. And then you can prepare sketches, the methods, the projected outcome. You may be thinking, wow, if we conduct this kind of research, what is your project outcome is there? So that also you can able to note it down. So that this particular stage that you can test how you can feel about your topic positively, indifferent or indifferent. You'll got to know the final topic for the topic that continuously for the next 2 to 3 years that you are really working on. So if you are feeling enthusiastic, whatever your idea, then it is better to go ahead with that one. So then discuss with the supervisors about your ideas, and then you can take the opinion from this particular topic. Originality also plays important, feasibility, because nowadays what is that novelty people generally ask in your research. So you need to throw in your literature, you state of art, so that you can able to confidently answer the questions what people are asking. And you should identify that particular gap in that particular research. Then you can present to your supervisor and discuss. And then obviously here whenever you are meeting with the supervisor, based on that, herein you need to discuss that is what is the time duration is there, or how much time is required, what are the funds and facility and the methods available. Because where you are doing the research, where that kind of facilities are there or not, that we need to identify in the beginning whenever we do finalize our topic. The funds is the also main source, because unless you have the fund, you cannot able to proceed. Some kind for every research, there are some or more that means funds are required. The time is also because you can research is a continuous process, but within the probable time duration, within that we need to finish at least the some part of research. That means your idea may be bigger, but the for the idea on which you wanted to wind up your research. So for that, you need to set the timeline, and then you can discuss with him, and then you can get a better idea with that. Then decide and develop into the statement of the objective. Then when your idea is freeze down, then you can find out what are your objective within that idea. So during this process, one topic may start to stand out as one within the most potential. Go for that one. Um, if not carefully evaluate what are the pros and cons for the remaining option. So then you can make a decision and move forward. So statement of the objective that you can elaborate 3 to 6 objectives of your topic. Generally during the PhD, we do consider that there are the 3 major contributing chapters are required. That means 3 major objectives are required. So that 3 major objective will provide your answer to the whatever the title you have decided. So elaborate 3 to 6 objectives of your topic, and we can develop a project overall goal. include the research question to the answer or the hypothesis you will work with. So these are the things that you need to decide and develop. So in the research, the literature review is the important part of your research. If you do literature review thorough, then obviously your work half of the work of the research will be done, because herein not only you will get an idea, but also you will able to get an idea on the methods, methodologies. And if you see whatever the questions that initially before you initiate your research, that questions answer you can get through this literature review. Whether the research question is already been answered, you may be having some idea, but the world is big, and here everyone is working for the one or other problems. So the idea which you are maybe thinking, but already some of the people might have done that kind of. So you will get an idea about that one. What is the chronological of the development? Some kind of research wherein chronology is much more important, because initially people have started with some, then later on the other researchers have taken that ideas and they have done some other or the research around that topic. So here in chronology we need to understand. So that's why people go with the literature more than 30-40 years back. That literature, they start finding that one, and from that is the base, and from that what is that updates are there, that we do find out during the last 5 years what are the updates which are happened in that particular topic. So what are the key theories, concept, ideas about that subject that you can get to, and what are the direction, methodology are indicated by the work of the other researchers. So that questions answers you can get through. And the question is how, that means you can bridge that gap. So if you have identified that, how you can able to contribute in that area. Are there any gaps in knowledge of the subject? Because sometimes already people have done the research, they have concluded that the further research is may not be required. That means already if that research is done, that technology already it is in the market, then we need to find out, or if there is no scope in that technology, then there is no point. Because the whatever research you do, generally that may be a development oriented. So in that case, already if the research topic wherein already there are outcomes and already people are work, that one freeze that one, there is no point in taking that topic. So otherwise uh, you need to find out that technology and what are the lacunas in that technology. That lacunas you need to address. So this is what from this the literature review. And then obviously there are different platforms are there through which we can able to find out your literature papers. And there are some papers which are maybe not be accessible through some of the open source platform. You can able to get that one. So there are different publishers are there wherein you can able to get an papers. So the problem solving approach is important. That means the problem you need to identify, and then you need to solve that problem. So so you can run this particular repeatedly until you find the solution which solve a problem. So that is what important. So uh, what is the approach to solve the research problem? So herein you need to find out what is that study about, why this study is being made, where will be the study carried out, where can require the data to be found. So these are the some of the questions that you need to initially think of. How will the data will be analyzed? What techniques of the data collection will be used? What periods of the time will the study include? What will be the sample design? So all this, because whenever we present the research, these questions people generally, whosoever is your monitoring committee is there, or whosoever is your assessment doctoral assessment committee is there, that committee always you they ask you, so why this, what is the sample size, what is the basis for sample size, what are the techniques that you are using to analyze the results, and why you are doing this particular research. So these are the questions that you need to address it. And they coming to the research matrix, that means here from publication to impact, because generally research we do for the, in order to provide one technical solutions to the, or the whatever the existing knowledge is there, you wanted to upgrade that knowledge with your research thoughts. So here whenever you do research, then the publication is important as per as your PhD doctoral program is there. The PhD, without publication you may not get the PhD degree. So publication is the important aspects of your PhD. It may not be important aspect of your research, but it is important in the point of view getting the degree. So obviously the this is the modern academic challenges that we need to accept it, and we need to publish it. So here the pressure of to publish, secure funding, and the demonstrate the impact never been a greater. So because whenever you are getting the funding, and the funding from that, there is a pressure that you need to publish it so that we can get the publicity for your for that particular organization, and also the research what you carried out with the funding. That may be funding which, because if you are taking the government funding, that is the taxpayers money, so your outcome should be useful to the people who have paid the taxes. So in that sense publication is important. But there are now the pressure is also there for with respect to the publication, and the publication, that is what the if we see the phases, that is what the foundation quantify your contribution, that is then the blueprint, crafting your scholarly identity, the build fueling your discovery, and the skyline bridging the research and the reality. So if we see the foundation, the understanding the matrix that measures your work. So first is what are authors level of matricity, citation metrics that measure the bibliometric impact. So whenever you are doing the literature review, then you might have, there are tools are available nowadays. So wherein bibliometric impact that you can able to assess. So for the individual authors or the researcher or within that particular topic. So why do they matter? These are the qualitative comparison between the researchers are mostly done to distribute the resources. So there is a debate on their effectiveness. Understanding these matrices in the first step and is strategically managing your scholarly reputation. They are the language of evaluation in the modern academia. So research metrics generally, if we see, there may be, if we go through the some of the researcher profiles, you always find the H index, and in some of the funding agency, there also they mention that any investigator should have this much H index, then only he should participate in that particular funding call. So. So H index is the more famous or the familiar index which is being considered. So H index, H, that is the largest number H, such that the author has at least H publications with at least H citations. So here in how they find out the H index. So H index rewards both productivity, that is number of papers, and also the impact citation. If suppose for example you have published the 5 publications, and then the first publication may having a 10 citations, second publication 8, third publication maybe 5. So here in the, here if you see this particular graph, the fourth publication has the 4 citations, and the fifth publication has only 3 citations. So with this they calculate that your H index is maybe a 4. So like that, the calculation of the H index. So that is what the list of publications that arranges all publication in the descending order of the citations received, and they find the intersection. So that is what they identify the point where the rank number of the paper is equal or less than the citation count. So with basis of that one, you can get it to the H index. So there may be different index or the toolkits of metrics behind the H index are also there. There may be G index is there, or FWCI index is there, I-10 index is there. I-10, that is the number of publication with at least 10 citations. That means each paper, how that paper is providing impact. That means you have published the paper, that paper is referred by some of the other researcher, so which will make an impact. Why do people refer your paper? When they will refer if you are providing some kind of insights to that particular area of knowledge, then only people may adopt what methodology you are adopted. They may, because your methodology, if it is innovative new one that already evaluated by you, then people use adopt that your methodology, and they cite that they have adapted methodology from your paper, and with that only you can get the citations, and obviously your reputation in terms of scientific world may get increased. So the critical perspective, that is uh, perils of matrix, that is there may be when a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. So obviously, if uh, obviously there may be description, because some of the areas wherein uh, people may not able to compare. For example, here the person who is from the mathematics background, but the person may be from chemistry background, the person may be biologist background. There may be H indexes may be different. So only by considering the H index, or maybe you, that cannot be recognized that how best you are the researcher. Obviously, it is just a criteria they have given, but it is not so much important that H index only the criteria, or any indices is here, whatever the matrix is there, whatever the index is there, that may not be a criteria to judge how best researcher are. So obviously, there are certain issues with the indices. So the next is for this particular in terms of blueprint. So you may be aware of uh, ORCID. That means ORCID. That is what the unique ID, which can given to the all the researcher. That means if you do register in Web of Science, so that you will get a research ID, and that is what one ID, they have their certain criteria to assess your profile. But obviously, whenever you do publish, that automatically which will added on your ID, and as you are having a different ID, maybe whenever do you enroll yourself in the PhD program, you will get a ID from the university. Similarly, for the research, it is a one particular platform wherein you can, if you register, you can get a unique ID, and through that unique ID, you will be recognized worldwide. That is ORCID, ORCID. So this is a unique ID, so that maybe author name may be same, but ORC ID may be different, because there may be different name, same name people who are working in the different areas. So this is to avoid the ambiguity, that particular ARC ID is created, which also be used in order to enhance the visibility, and also many profiles can be set up updated, so that saves the time, and also you will be recognized in what area you are working with. So for that particular this particular ID is essential, so that we can get the visibility, credibility, and the collaboration. So whenever you start doing the collaboration, then obviously people go, they maybe go through the your Google Scholar profile or maybe Web of Science profile. But the in the overall in the scientific world, generally they prefer the Web of Science profile, author profile, not the Google Scholar profile. So also the one more research gate is there. Research gate is they are having their different philosophy in order to create that impact. So, but generally for the collaboration, generally they consider Web of Science. So, because if you do the compare with the Web of Science profile and the Google Scholar profile, so the data source from the Web of Science, that is a highly accurate, and Web of Science only give the uh, this one your indices as maybe SCI indices or maybe JGate indices, or there may be different indices are there. Accuracy wise also, if you see the Google Scholar, they are prone to have the errors. So there may be some non-scholarly citations also that Google Scholar consider, but here in Web of Science they don't consider. Peer review publications only they consider. The matrix is that is the structure and reliable, that is H index, that they consider, and the setup semi-automated creations of the indexed authors that they consider. So that's why if you see the Web of Science provide verified authoritative record of for the formal evaluations and the to grant the applications. Where are Google Scholar offer the border and public facing views. So Google Scholar is give provide you public facing view of your influence. So so that's why Web of Science is good. So if you want to build your research profile, then and if you want to get the funding, so in the India, if you see uh, for the India, there is different platforms are there. Different platforms are there which are offer diverse funding opportunities and the agencies. So one of the agencies is CSIR. CSIR, where I belongs to. CSIR also provide you funding and the also offer you the collaborative research. For this, you need to submit a proposal to the CSRI headquarter. And if you submit the proposal, so based on your particular project idea, the particular laboratory, they will send this particular project proposal to the particular laboratory. And within that laboratory, they will analyze your project proposal. And if they found that particular research topic is of interesting and which as having a really some potential, then obviously the laboratory recommend that this proposal can be accepted and funding can be given to that one. So here in how the your research proposal is being analyzed. The one thing is there, the project proposal, whosoever is submitted, they generally find out that whether this particular investigator has already done work in that or not. If he has done the work, so what are the his publications are there, and then the topic what he wanted to propose and what is the expected outcome is there. Is there any novelty in that particular project, then they will consider. Is that is aligned with the CSRI missions, then that is being considered. Because some kind of fundamental research wherein CSIR generally for particular engineering background they don't provide. Here applied research, for that generally CSRI provides the funding. So if any industrial collaboration is there, then that is considered. Apart from that, there are DST, that is Department of Science Technology, DBT, Department of Biology, ICMR, Medical Research, so ICSSR. So these are the different type of organizations are there that may grant the this one. So wherein some in the CSR also there are different uh, different proposal calls are there, that maybe for the internal, and for the some of the calls maybe for the different. So here in with respect to CSR, if I see, we do have the focus basic research, that is FBR program is there. FTT, that is fast track translation. That means fast track translation is your idea is there, solution is ready, only that solution that we need to translate to the industries. You might be aware of the TRL levels. Whenever you do start, here I have not presented, but whenever you do start, your TRL level 1 is nothing but your research idea. And the TRL level 9 is that research idea is being translated into the industry, and industry is manufacturing that whatever the product, whatever your technology, manufacturing, and that is being circulated in the market. So that is the TRL level 9. So from 1 to 9, always your research should go from 1 to 9. So maybe you may be having a restriction. Sometimes your idea is there, one, you can do some kind of basic research, FBR focus research, and wherein you can take that one idea into maybe three TRL level 3 or 4. Then from TRL level 3 point, that means idea is now okay. At the laboratory level, that idea is we can able to conclude idea is um, uh, uh, idea is correct and validated. Then from the laboratory you have to take to the field and you have to demonstrate. That means TRL level 4 to TRL level 5 or maybe 6. Up to 6 you can take, that means you can demonstrate on ground. You can check the performance on ground, how it is performing, and then that is what the TRL level 6 or 5 to 6. Then particularly this particular fast track translation, that is trial level 5 to 6, that level is taken to the industry level. That means that the idea what you have demonstrated on ground, that is being taken to the industry level. Because for example, there may be some ideas that you have worked in the laboratory, but in the industry, that industry scale is the mass scale. Whether your technology is scalable or not, that is also being judged. Because sometimes your idea is there. Suppose, for example, you are working in some kind of waste material. Is that waste material in that amount is available? If it is available, then there is a point of doing research. If it is not a scalable idea, if that we cannot able to scale it up, then there is no point doing that particular research. So that particular thing is also being considered. So whenever you are having idea, you have done that at the laboratory level, then you are taking to the industry level, then you should identify the industry partner as well. So here in the collaboration plays important role, because if you see nowadays the different calls are there, whether it is DST call, whether it is any your Anusandan ANRF. So that call is there. Always they ask for the some of the program, they ask that you identify your industry partner. That means your research should align with the industry. Our particular CSIR, if you see Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, here also it is our main mandate is the research what we have to do, that should go to the industry. That is what our main particular motto is there. There may be mission oriented. So the missions that generally in the CSIR, there may be some missions. For example, recently the aroma mission was there at the CSIR headquarter level. So in that, that is related to the agriculture thing, and the main motto of that one, to increase the farmers' income. So in that case, how they can use the different crops, aromatic plants, they can cultivate in their farming land, and they can get the extra amount apart from their conventional farming. So that is what particular Aram mission, and wherein they have played this particular mission, they have uh, across the India, they have conducted the field trials, and that particular mission got very huge success. So that is what your CSIR mission, some kind of missions are there with which you need to align. At present, there is a one more mission is there, CCUS, carbon capture carbon utilization, and carbon storage. That is what main nowadays people are talking on the climate change. So CCUS is the one of the mission. Another mission is the hydrogen mission is there. Another mission maybe renewable energy is the mission is there. So wherein these kind of missions which are there, that means we need to align what government is planning. What is the government's niti? Niti Aayog is there. They are formulating the nitis. So along with respect to that nitis, we need to align your research topic. So if you see the CSIR, the particularly here different calls are there for the this biotechnology industrial research, that is BIRAC. There are also different calls are there. So for the different calls, different requirement is there. And maybe in some of these fundings also may be restricted, that this much amount only funding will be given, within that you need to formulate your proposal. So like that there may be things are there. So with that, we need to identify that particular call, and based on that one, we need to start the collaboration. So now in India, if we see the India, so we are still lagging with the academia industry research. So if you see, there are the other countries wherein they do research align with the industry collaboration. So collaboration, they always try to collaborate with the industry, and they translate their laboratory research into the industry. That means uh, only citations and grant, that is what is required for the academicians to get the promotions and to get the maybe extra salaries. That is okay, but apart from that, we need to make an impact of our research, that we need to translate that research into the real world innovation, wherein we can able to provide the technical solutions to the world. And for this, there is a strong bridge required from the academia and the industries. So we need to align. So at present, we are at the rank 26, and we need to achieve because in the other sectors we wanted to move and grab the position first. So here and also we have to um, align ourselves into the industrial research, and then we can able to fill, because our motto is Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India. So for this particular collaborative research is much more important. So there may be calls nowadays. The DST also align with this, and they are also asking if it is there, your call is there, then they always mention that you should identify industry and your industry from the day one. That means when you write a proposal, from that day only they are asking you to align with the any specific industry. So that is what now requirement is there, and that is being considered also. And because industry, if it is industries there, what happens that whatever the technology that you develop, whatever the process, whatever know-how that you develop in that research, that obviously it will get transferred to the industry immediately. The industry also tell that. So for example, we were doing the research with respect to the some of the waste material, and we are preparing the AEC blocks. And AC blocks, while doing the research, we have taken the curing time, maybe 10 hours. We have taken the time as 10 hours, 12 hours. But obviously, because that was the industry oriented project and industry sponsored, the industry told that you cannot go beyond the 8 hours, because 8 hours is the one of the shift is of the 8 hours. You should take the maximum curing time as 8 hours only. So then only it may be scalable, because 8 hour shift is there, three shifts we can able to produce three times. If in between is there, then it will be very difficult. So like that, if we align with the industry will tell that this is what our the capacity. They will give you capacity. This is what the capacity, and for this capacity, you have to do the research. because some of the research in the laboratory level, you can get the results. Whenever you scale it up, then your results may vary. That means there may be some of the errors may occur. So that also we need to consider here. So obviously, from the foundation blueprint, you need to achieve more stronger. Uh, so it is not the only your citations, but you need to build through a deliberate, strategic, and holistic approach to your research career. So initially to get the degree, that is okay, but you have to aim big that your research should go to the field. So that is what it is important. Obviously, there are challenges are there in this particular thing. In the India nowadays, people are industry also collaborating with the academicians to get the solutions. Because initially we were dependent on the technologies which we have borrowed from the other world. Now it is mandatory that you have to build your indigenous technology. So obviously uh, they are also ready to align with the academicians for the collaborative research. So so here in if we see the collaborations, uh, the collaboration, that is what we need to present to the industries, and through the industries we can get that what is the industry demand is there, and based on that industry demand we can little bit fine tune our proposal and we can able to submit. So so herein we need to think in the different directions, and whenever we are going to the any particular collaborative, then we should be thorough in that one. What collaboration we are requesting, and what are the things we wanted to do in that particular research program. So that is what is important. So obviously, proposal idea is the first thing. Then the forging, assembling the crew. That means we need to take, because all the research in the sense, research is the different discipline things wherein you need to formulate the team. So you have to take from the one, maybe from the other, maybe mathematicians, maybe computer science people, or maybe from the biological background. Then you need to make a team, and then you have to write the research program, then the peer review, because peer review, that means publications are there through that, or the committee is there, or monetary committee, and ethics and integrity is much more important, and then the IP rights. So that is what your things are there. So uh, whenever uh, you start, so first of all, what is the novelty, that is the significance of that particular research, and then the approach methodology that already I have explained to you. Uh, so this is what obviously it is important, and so these are the some of the questions, that means here in other way it is mentioned. So these are the questions we should ask, and we should uh, provide the answers to this. So herein, whenever we request for the collaboration, therein we should ask in a manner. So we should prepare a blueprint that the project significance, that is identify the specific important issues, explain how your project contributes to the new knowledge or theory, and why you are studying, the correction to the research and theory, research design. So that is what the important things are there. Uh, because a lot of people, they um, prepare a proposal, they submit, but obviously only few people get the funding, because there may be mistakes whenever we do write the proposal. There are some mistakes. The project is not the actual research study. That means, example, curricular development kind of simple program evaluation. That project doesn't get the funding. overly broad, non-existing literature review. If it is literature review is not proper, that means not your chronological, not you have mentioned. No justification to the methodology of what you have selected. Missing details, sample size. So project is not clearly connected to the funder's domain. For example, whosoever is the funding agency is there, they are having some kind of idea. So within that, we need to mention it. And how we can do the collaboration. So how to initiate the collaboration. So herein, whenever you write a email to any particular collaborative person that you wanted to collaborate, so wherein you can mention some of the things. That means maybe uh, subject line, whatever your inquiry regarding the collaboration, then maybe always you should use your official university email to introduce yourself and your institution clearly. The hook, that is what show your the work, what you have done in that particular area, and uh, your reference work you should mention there. Highlight your interest in the field. You can note the your expertise, and then you don't cite the paper titles, but you mention, highlight your what you work already you have done, and what is that proposal you wanted to submit for the funding. So that also you need to consider. And then you can request him for his willingness. And before submitting the proposal, you obviously you should discuss with your collaborators through meeting, and then you can share your ideas, and then you can understand where he is strong in, and what is your requirement from that particular partner, so that you should mention. So always, whenever you write a mail, there are certain things that you use polite language and be crisp, concise, so that people will understand. So and then so obviously, this is what your research line actually. So obviously, there are different segments are there that already people might have covered. So one thing is there, clarity is required. Clarity is required. Structure proposal, structure, what structure that you should be clear. Then the consistency, because sometimes when you start and when you end, there may not be consistency. Your objective 1 and objective 3, that may not be aligning with one particular your title, then it is not converging to one particular research topic. So precision, clarity is much more important. And obviously publications, their publication process is there, that you submit, then it will go to the editors and other things, that is okay. So whenever your paper is getting rejected, don't be upset, because there may be possibility that because that particular publisher, they are thinking and or they wanted to get the paper in different domains, and your paper is in the different domain. So obviously there is a challenge that how we can identify the better journal. There is a challenge. And obviously what happens nowadays, because of the new tools are coming, so the journals also they wanted to uh, advertise their, they wanted to increase their citations. So based on that one, they consider the appropriate papers in their journal. So obviously that doesn't mean that your research is bad. It is the only thing is that the time, the time uh, is not in your favor. Uh, uh, so that is what the thing. So there may be anyway, you may get the revisions also. You can try to incorporate the revisions and try to publish that way. So here ethics are also important. That means academic integrity is much more important. Plagiarism, that you need to take care of that one, because nowadays journals, they are use the softwares, they cross check, and they obviously detect plagiarism. They detect the AI also, artificial intelligence, through that also they detect. And there is a duplicate submission, they don't consider, and there is no excuse also. So obviously in our particular research, uh, plagiarism is the main issue, and we should do our work, should not indulge with the plagiarism. So the intellectual property, that also valuable, you have to protect. So here IP right, I think next station is there on the IP rights. So whenever your idea is there, that idea can also be protected for 1 year. And whenever you start the research, your idea is there, that you can get protected. And then later on, you can do your research, and later on you can submit the patent. So your for the IP right, it is there for your idea also. So that also you need to take care. So obviously you need to fill the gaps. So from the literature, and with that you can continue on your research. So that is chronological, thematic, methodological, and theoretical. So these are the how you can do your literature. So obviously these are the your topics which will come in your thesis. That is what the title, abstract, introduction, methodology, the related what, that is what the literature review, results, discussion, conclusion, and references. So obviously this is what the format wherein you submit your thesis. So funding is important. So for this funding, if you see here, I will share some of the documents. In India, the DST, Department of Science and Technology, is the one who provide the funding. And ACRB now it is changed to the Anusandhan Research Foundation. So ANRF, that is what ANRF. So so there you can get the funding calls. Our CSIR is also there. There is a Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. DSIR is there, and there are different ministries. That ministry of, because ministry also provides some funding for in their interest, research interest. For example, textile industry, they may support the textile reinforcement. For that they provide capacity building, they may provide some kind of funding. Steel industry, the steel wherein steel waste is there, slag waste is there, if we are doing any research to that particular area, then they will provide. Then Ministry of Education, that is obviously there. Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, they can provide. Ministry of Non-Renewable Energy, so wherein solar based or wind based renewable energy is there, then they may provide. So you can write to any of the industry, and from there also you can get the funding. DBT is there, medical research is there. So there are a lot of funding agencies are there. If you see the programs, so here some of the links are there. Mm. Can you able to see the link what I have opened now? Uh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So here in just I am coming to end. So here in I will open up few links that anyway I will share this. See here from this can you see this screen?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible now.
Okay, thank you. So now see these are the fundings that active calls you can get it here. So there may be some of the programs are there that you can get it through particular this link, and you can able to apply. It is not only for this particular your maybe research proposal also, but there are some fellowship with that you can able to visit some of the countries and wherein you can do some kind of research. So that particular calls you can get it here. And at present national mission on CCUS, national mission on hydrogen. So these are the things are already there. So here in if you go through this call, you can get an uh, details on that particular call. What is that requirement? 1+1, 2+1. That means two partners from India, two partners from abroad. So all that things you can able to get it through that.
Sir, you are inaudible now.
Okay. Huh.
Yes.
Huh. So this is what the portal wherein you can get to know. So what are the active calls? So here in maybe research and development, societal development, you can type it here, some of the key. And here you can see these are the different organizations wherein we can get the funding. So Ministry of Ayush is there, Ministry of Coal, they also provide the funding, the work what you do in the coal related. So that is what a big organization, heavy metals, obviously ISRO is there and DST is there, DST, but obviously ministries that generally we don't take care of ministries, but that they also provide. Here maybe our particular Council of Scientific Research, Industrial Research, that CSIR is also there. So so through that you can be able to get the what is the current funding is there, and the current funding in which area, which domain is there, and based on that one we can able to submit the proposals. So for example, Ministry of Earth here, atmospheric climate science and services. So call is there. So through which we can able to get it. So Anusandhan, that is what initially it is SCRP, but now it is they have converted into Anusandhan. So here some kind of solar research is there, imprint is there. AICT also provides some kind of funding. So through this we can able to get an idea where the funding is available and how we can able to grab that funding. And nowadays, obviously we need to, whenever we do write the proposal, then obviously we need to introduce the keywords. Keywords in the sense, now the hot topic is the climate change is the hot topic, and the uh, greenhouse gas emissions is the hot topic. Atmanirbhar Bharat is there. Vision 2047 is the key means a buzzword. I can say is a buzzword. So these are the things that we need to introduce into our particular research proposal, so that that means you are aware of the government initiatives, and your proposal is how it is aligned with that particular mission. That is what it is important. So that you can consider. So with this, I will come to the end. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'm thankful to Rahul ji and his entire team, because the organizing FDP program and is not a it is important, and with this you are trying to gather the knowledge from the different areas, and different experts are sharing their knowledge, and that obviously is helpful. In somewhat it may be helpful to the participants, and this is a noble work that you are doing. So thank you giving me this opportunity. And at the end, I just wanted to close with collaborate to innovate and innovate to transport. So we need to collaborate for to innovate something, and that innovation which obviously will transport uh, to the people. That means people will get benefited with that transformations. So with this, I am thankful, and now I request, if you tell you have any doubts, then please I'll be happy to share that one.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation. Now I will open the session for questions. If any participant has any query and question, he or she can ask the question, or instead you can write it in the chat box, and I will ask the question.
So one question is there, sir. Is there any age criteria for granting the fund?
Yes.
So obviously for the fund, there may not be any the age criteria. For the fellowships, obviously there is a age criteria. For the some of the fellowships, there may be 40 is the age limit. And there some of the fellowship after PhD within 3 years, you need to grab it. So for the funding, there may not be any age criteria. Obviously, young research funding, there may be some of the funding for that, maybe age criteria there, but obviously, for the larger fundings, there may not be age criteria.
Yes, anyone have any other doubt? If we have time, you can ask the questions. If there are no more questions, then I can conclude the session. Okay. So thank you, Dr. Kulkarni, for this wonderful presentation. I will just give a quick summary of the topics you have covered in this presentation. So you explained about very in-depth explanation about the research, their objective and significance of research, types of research, and apart from the topic of international collaborations, you have gone through the topics of literature review. Then you came to the research matrix, and you have explained well about the research collaboration. So, on behalf of Civil Engineering Department and the Assistant Bureau by Savant College of Engineering and Research, Pune, I would like to thank you, sir, for your valuable time and knowledge that you have shared with us. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So, for the participants, the last session that is on IPR, we will be starting from 2 p.m. as we have started daily. And the feedback form for this session we will be sharing on the WhatsApp group.